We'll have a lot to say about Charlie Kirk at our event. Let me say one thing though. What did he speak about? Courage, all the time, showing courage. Do you know that assassination, that attempt, is to instill fear into everyone, to prevent people standing up and to prevent people speaking up. You want to honour Charlie Kirk, you go and speak up, you speak louder, you scream if you have to. So to anyone who is contemplating not turning up at a protest or a college campus or a debate, that's the last thing you should be doing. You want to honour that man and give it the legacy that he's leaving. Stand up and speak. Show courage to speak. Don't give the bastard who's murdered him, or the organisation or the corporation or the government or whatever it is that's killed him, don't give them what they've wanted. Don't let them win. Now is the time. Now is the turning point. Now is when you speak louder than ever. Ever. You cannot allow that. That doesn't mean you're not scared. You can be scared. As he talks about, courage is being scared but still doing the right thing. Free speech. It's not just a right, it's a biblical right. It's your right to truth. So, as we're preparing for our event on the 13th of September, march for your country, okay? March for freedom. March for your children. And march for Charlie Kirk. And God bless his family. And God bless the United States of America and their belief in free speech and their fight for us. Charlie Kirk spoke up when I was imprisoned. Charlie Kirk spoke up against what was happening in Britain. He visited and he spoke up in the defence of our freedom of speech. We looked at J.D. Vance, we looked at Elon Musk, we looked at Donald Trump. They are the people defending us. And we will make sure that the million Brits that turn up on Saturday honour the life, the sacrifice and the legacy that's going to be left of Charlie Kirk. Join us.
In a fiery address to his supporters, British activist Tommy Robinson has urged people to speak louder than ever in response to the assassination of US conservative figure Charlie Kirk. Robinson framed the killing as an attempt to instill fear and silence dissent, declaring that the greatest way to honor Kirk's legacy is to keep speaking out. Charlie Kirk talked about courage all the time, Robinson said. That assassination, that attempt, is to install fear into everyone, to prevent people from standing up and speaking up. If you want to honor Charlie Kirk, you go and speak up. You speak louder, you scream if you have to. Robinson tied his message directly to the upcoming September 13 march, which he framed as not only a demonstration for national sovereignty, but also a tribute to Kirk. He urged Britons to march for your country, for freedom, for your children, and for Charlie Kirk. This rhetoric reflects Robinson's long-standing positioning of himself as a defender of free speech in Britain, often linking domestic grievances with international right-wing figures. Robinson reminded his audience that Kirk had supported him during his own imprisonment in the UK, crediting the late conservative commentator with raising international awareness of free speech battles abroad. Charlie Kirk spoke up when I was imprisoned. He visited and he spoke up in defense of our freedom of speech, Robinson said. He also invoked prominent American figures, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, tech billionaire Elon Musk, and former President Donald Trump, as allies in what he cast as a global struggle for truth and liberty. Robinson's speech underscores how Kirk's assassination is being framed not just as an American tragedy, but as a rallying cry for populist and nationalist movements across the West. By intertwining Kirk's death with his own activism, Robinson seeks to both galvanize his base and reinforce the sense of a shared international struggle against establishment forces. Whether this call to action resonates with a broader audience in Britain remains to be seen, but Robinson's words make clear that Kirk's death has become more than a U.S. political shock. It is being weaponized as a symbol of defiance for movements far beyond America's borders.
There have certainly been some challenges, haven't there? What I'm seeing, though, is the Prime Minister is acting quickly, and that is the hope I'm taking from this, is that the second the Standards Commissioner gave his decision on Angela Rayner, she had resigned. As soon as that new information came to light last night, remember all of this was dropping at about 9:30. I was busy doing sit-ups in the gym when all of this dropped. this morning, the Prime Minister meeting with the Home Secretary, making the decision. So even though it is felt maybe quite elongated, I don't think that's been the case. As soon as the
Sebastian,
information came
the
out,
Prime Minister
he's acted on it.
tied his colours to the mast. Question after question after question at Prime Minister's questions yesterday. He dug in when he needn't have dug in. It was clear as day that there was going to be more that was going to come out about Peter Mandelson. He had said so on television. He had told Harry Cole that more was going to come out, and lo and behold, more did come out. What judgment does it show the Prime Minister that he completely digs in front of the nation at Prime Minister's questions, only to then be forced to U-turn the next morning?
Well, it's a binary, isn't it? Either you're behind somebody or you aren't. You can't be halfway supportive of somebody who's in your administration. And the reason that that position shifted was that information came out last night.
Hang on, Sebastian, you can be halfway, because that's exactly what you said about Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner was referred to the Standards Commissioner. That was a holding position. Keir Starmer, if we're going to follow your first logical answer, and I think we can be generous and say, OK, fair enough, perhaps he acted decisively off the back of that investigation, well then why can't we apply the same logic to the second example you gave, i.e. he could have launched an investigation, said, look, I'm not going to cast judgment until there's an investigation upon which we can make a call. He chose to do neither. This isn't the binary that you're suggesting.
No, the logic is consistent, because I think on this occasion it was pretty clear no investigation was needed. The situation moved so quickly that Starmer was able to take that action and say, look, no, you've crossed a line, you're no longer the US ambassador. If he were launching an investigation, he would have done it this morning, and instead he went for the chop and he said, no, you're sacked. And I think that was the right decision to make.
He could have done it yesterday.
I mean, there was more information to come. So why would you launch an investigation when
find the more information
that you're basing it on is incomplete?
You investigate to find that information. But we could all see what was going on. Why do you think Kemi Badenoch spent 6 of her 6 questions on this very subject? Surely it shows Kemi Badenoch could see what was going to happen more so than the Prime Minister. She's got better judgment than him.
I mean, I think that's a pretty big claim. I think we're splitting hairs, really. It's a difference of a few hours, really, at the end of the day. That what really matters is the fact that he's gone, which was the right decision. I think a lot of people will be really pleased to see that. Now we can move on, appoint a new ambassador, a new permanent ambassador, and get on with what's really important, which is addressing the concerns of people in this country. Remember, this is a bit of a distraction. It's all happening over in the US, but here, people are struggling. They have been for so long, and the government's focus has to be, I'm sure you would agree, on the living standards of people in Britain, rather than some kind of a distraction over the other side of the Atlantic.
Certainly should be. Although the government does seem to be creating distraction after distraction. But Sebastian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that subscribe button, and join our Telegram community for updates you won't see anywhere else.